In this short video, we're going to show you how to utilize MQTT information inside of an InTouch Machine Edition project. We'll begin by opening up the development environment. And we'll create a new project. I'm going to call it something simple like MQTT. I'll put it in a folder where I can find it easily. And I'll go with the defaults in terms of resolution. Okay, and this will create our project. Okay, and the first thing that we need to do is come down here to communications, and let's add a driver so that we can talk to our MQTT broker. We'll do that by highlighting drivers, right click and say add remove drivers, and that will bring up the communications drivers dialog box. And to get to MQTT, we can just simply type MQTT, and that'll bring MQTT up in the selection. We'll select it, say OK, and that will add the MQTT driver to our project. You'll see this new folder called MQTT, and we have the main driver sheet. Double clicking that will bring up the editor. To make things really easy, as opposed to typing all of this information in, for instance tag name, station, and the IO address, I have a spreadsheet that I created with all of that information. These reflect some home automation switches that I'm going to try to get information from. This is the actual IP address, the port, and the quality of service for the broker that I'm going to connect to. And this is the topic, the device and the topic, the topic and the item that I want to get information from. And all these three columns reflect these three columns within the main driver sheet. So heading back here, I'm just simply going to highlight all the items in this column, and I'm just simply going to come and copy, head back to the development studio, and I'm going to paste. And since these tags do not exist in the project, it's going to create them one by one. So I'll just simply say yes, and under type I'm going to select string. For MQTT, it's important that you select the string type, and it's going to create them one by one as I go through the list. Okay, the system has created all of my tags. Now I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet, and I'm going to copy the address and port information for my broker. I'll just come here and I will highlight all of these cells and just simply paste. Now the IO address, do the same thing with a copy and paste. And now I have all of my IO configured. I'll simply save this particular main driver sheet, and I'll close it. Now before going forward, it's always a good idea to test your IO with a third-party source. And so to do that is with MQTT, I have something called MQTT Spy, which is a Java-based application. Essentially, it's a MQTT client. So I'll connect to my broker, and you'll notice that I have all of these pre-configured topics and items that I want to get information from. So I'm going to subscribe to my broker. So I'll just say right click and I'll say subscribe to all. And so right now there are no messages, but as soon as the message changes, then I should start seeing some information. Now in the meantime, I'm going to head back to my development environment, and I'm going to create a screen. So I'll just go here to under the graphics tab, and I will insert a new screen. Here's my new screen, and I'm going to add a symbol to the screen. So I'll click on symbols, go to system symbols. In this case right here, I want text IO. So in this case, I'm going to try text output. So I'll select it, head back to my screen, and I'll put it on the screen. Now, because I'm dealing with long text, I may want to elongate that particular box. So I'll elongate it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and start editing that box. So under label, I'll just simply say MQTT, and let's go freezer. Let's see how that freezer switch, to see if it's on or off. So for label, I just type that in between the double quotes. And here under tag name, I'm going to select freezer, MQT underscore freezer, the tag that I created earlier. I'm going to populate it. I'll go ahead and close it. And now let's save. And I'm going to call this screen MQTT stats or status. I'll save it, and I'll go run. That'll bring up the runtime environment. And as you can see right here, it's not populated just yet. Let's see what the MQTT spy is telling us. So with freezer, we've already received one message. So when we receive the second message, our runtime environment should be populated at that point. So let's check and see. So when this turns to 2, we'll check back. Now in this particular case, there is a algorithm running in the background where there is a program that actually runs and scans all of these items, and it takes some time. However, with other IoT or IIoT devices, it wouldn't take that long. So I see here that it has changed to 2. So there is one, we're showing one message out of 2. And if we head on back, we can see that we also have a message because the algorithm through its scan cycle has reported, okay, to all subscribers. It has been published by the publisher to all subscribers that the freezer switch is on. So that concludes this brief video on how to utilize MQTT or MQTT type information for InTouch Machine Edition. Thank you.